The science of smiles, real and fake. The notion that you can smile your way to happiness is an enduring one. Back in the 1800s, Charles Darwin was among the first to come up with what modern scientists further developed into the facial feedback hypothesis. That's the idea that smiling can make you happier, and frowning can make you sadder or angrier, that changing your facial expression can intensify or even transform your mood. Dick Van Dyke sang about the phenomenon, and so did Nat King Cole. And it is still taught in psychology classes today. But researchers are now finding that this phenomenon may be more complicated than they once thought. A recent study that reviewed around 50 years of data, including the results of nearly 300 experiments, testing the facial feedback theory, has found that if smiling boosts happiness, it's only by a tiny bit. I know when I'm sad and people tell me to smile, it just makes me more angry. Nick Coles, social psychology researcher, University of Tennessee, Knoxville. After crunching all the numbers, the researchers say their results suggest that if 100 people smiled, all else equal among them, only about 7 might expect to feel happier than if they hadn't smiled. The study also looked at the effects of a number of other facial expressions, including scowling and frowning, and tried to more generally understand the extent to which positive facial expressions create positive emotions and negative facial expressions create negative emotions. In each case, the effects were extremely tiny, says Nick Coles, a social psychology PhD candidate at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, who led the study. The results, published in the June issue of Psychological Bulletin, add to a debate that has been ongoing for at least 100 years since the dawn of psychology, Coles says. That debate over whether the simple act of moving one's facial muscles into the shape of a smile can make one feel happier has grown especially heated in the past few years. In another study, published in 2016, 17 labs around the globe failed to replicate a seminal piece of research that had originally demonstrated a link between smiling and emotion. If you're often angry or irritable, you may be depressed. That original study, published in 1988, found that people who were told to hold a pen between their teeth, forcing their faces into the shape of a smile, rated cartoons as funnier than did those who held a pen between their lips to make a pouty face. The participants didn't realize they were smiling or pouting. They believed they were testing out methods that disabled people could use to write. It was the first study that demonstrated that smiling could influence emotions even if the participants were not aware that they were actually smiling, Coles explains.